Well, Mr. Wilson says, gesturing towards the giant mural on the wall, looked like it paid off, didn't it? The volleyball practice is ending across the gym. The coach's whistle blows. Reality intrudes. Better finish up here, Mr. Wilson says, reaching for his mop. Got the hallways next. What time do you finish? Michael asks, an idea forming. About 6, usually. Mr. Wilson, Michael says, meeting the older man's gaze. Would you let me take you to dinner tonight? When you're done. I'd love to catch up properly. Mr. Wilson looks genuinely surprised. Flustered, even. Dinner. With you. Don't you have important folks to see? Big meetings and such. Michael puts a hand gently on the old man's shoulder. The contrast between the multimillionaire global icon and the humble, 80-year-old janitor is stark, yet bridged by shared history. Mr. Wilson, Michael says sincerely, right now, you are the most important person I want to see. The janitor's eyes crinkle at the corners as he smiles, a genuine, heartfelt smile. Well, in that case, I accept. But nothing too fancy, mind you. These old bones don't fit so well in them stiff chairs. I know just the place, Michael promises. Meet you at the front entrance. 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock it is, Michael. As Michael walks back through the familiar halls of Laney High, his mind is racing. 80 years old. Still working. Why? He remembered Mr. Wilson as old even when he was a teenager, but 80? Still pushing a mop? Something about it felt fundamentally wrong. The man who had offered quiet support, who had believed in him, who had been a small but significant part of his journey, still working paycheck to paycheck? By the time he reaches his SUV, the competitive fire that fueled his basketball career is rekindled, but aimed at a different goal. A decision has been made. He doesn't know the how yet, but the what is crystal clear. Mr. Wilson's life, the life of the man who saw potential in a skinny kid cut from varsity, is about to change. Drastically. Okay, fame finders, we gotta take a quick pause here. Are you feeling this story? Let me know in the comments right now. Tell me where you're watching from. We love seeing our global fame finder family. And seriously, if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that button. You don't want to miss how this incredible story unfolds. Alright, we're back. So, Michael Jordan has just had this powerful reunion with Mr. Wilson, the 80-year-old janitor still working at his old high school. He's invited him to dinner, but his mind is already working overtime. He spends the next hour not just waiting, but acting. Calls are made. Business dinners cancelled. Flights potentially rescheduled. Priorities are shifting in real time. This isn't just a casual catch-up anymore. It's becoming a mission. 6 o'clock sharp, Michael is waiting by the front entrance. The school is quiet now. Mr. Wilson shuffles out a few minutes late, having changed from his woke uniform into a clean, simple button-up shirt and slacks that hang a bit loosely on his thin frame. Sorry to keep you, Mr. Wilson says. Principal stopped me. No problem at all, Michael assures him, opening the passenger door of his luxurious SUV. Mr. Wilson's eyes widen. We're riding in that. Fanciest thing I ever been in was my nephew's Cadillac. As they drive, Michael suggests an old local spot, Katie's Diner. Mr. Wilson's face lights up. Katie's. Still there. Best darn chocolate milkshakes in town. Michael smiles. His dad used to take him there after games. The memories aren't just his, they are woven into the fabric of this town, and Mr. Wilson is a part of that fabric. Katie's Diner is like a time capsule. Red vinyl booths, checkered floors. And sure enough, a faded photo of Michael's Laney High team hangs near the cash register. The waitress nearly drops a notepad when she recognizes MJ. Whispers spread through the diner. Michael handles it with practiced grace, but his focus is entirely on Mr. Wilson. So tell me, Mr. Wilson, Michael starts, after they order cheeseburgers and those famous milkshakes. 4 to 7 years at Laney. What kept you there? Just a job, Mr. Wilson shrugs, but his eyes tell a different story. Needed the work back then. Factory closed down. Had my wife, Martha, and 2 little ones. Martha, Michael remembers. She used to bring you lunch sometimes. Still does, Mr. Wilson chuckles. Every Tuesday. Ham sandwich, crusts cut off. Treats me like I'm still 40. Michael gently probes deeper. He learns about Mr. Wilson's kids, now grown and living out west. Grandkids, great-grandkids he hasn't met yet. There's a hint of sadness when he talks about how expensive travel is. Michael files that away. Then, the conversation shifts back to the job. But 80, Mr. Wilson, Why not retire? Mr. Wilson's smile fades slightly. He stays his milkshake. Well, Michael, he says quietly, retirement's for folks who can afford it, I reckon. School pension ain't much these days. And Martha, she had a stroke a few years back. Medical bills pile up. Stroke. Medical bills. Pension not enough. The pieces click into place for Michael. This isn't just about dedication, it's about necessity. This kind, proud man, who gave so much, is trapped by circumstances. Michael shifts the conversation back to happier memories, asking about the time he got cut from varsity. I remember that day, Mr. Wilson nods slowly. Found you sitting alone in the gym after everyone else went home. Just shooting free throws in the near dark. Didn't even turn the lights on. Michael leans forward. You remember what you said to me? Mr. Wilson thinks for a moment. Can't say I recall exactly. You told me, Michael says, his voice low and intense, that sometimes the best players are the ones who have to fight the hardest for their spot. You said you saw me practicing when nobody was watching. Then you handed me the keys to the gym. Told me I could practice as long as I wanted, just lock up when I was done. Mr. Wilson's eyes crinkle. Well, look at that. Gave advice to the greatest basketball player of all time. It wasn't just advice, Mr. Wilson, Michael says seriously. It was trust. Belief. When I felt worthless, you made me feel like I mattered. Like my effort mattered. You handed me the keys, literally and figuratively. They finished their meal, sharing more stories. Mr. Wilson isn't just a janitor. He's been a mentor, a confidant, a quiet guardian angel to countless students over the decades. The troubled kid who became a cop, the runaway girl he helped reunite with her family. His life has been one of unseen service. Michael insists on driving Mr. Wilson home. They pull up to a small, modest house on the outskirts of town. Peeling paint, a sagging porch railing, a cracked walkway. Not much to look at, Mr. Wilson says apologetically, but it's home. Michael sees more than just a house needing repair. He sees the physical manifestation of years of financial struggle. Martha would love to meet you properly, Mr. Wilson offers. Would you like to come in? I'd be honored, Michael replies. Inside, the house is small but spotlessly clean. Furniture is old but cared for. Family photos adorn every surface. And then, from a back room, comes the sound of wheels on hardwood. Okay, fame finders. Get ready for a story that will hit you right in the feels. This isn't just about basketball. It's about legacy, gratitude, and the quiet heroes who shape our lives without ever seeking the spotlight. You're watching Fame Finder, the place where we uncover the incredible, often unseen stories behind the icons. Hey everyone, and welcome back to Fame Finder. Today, we've got a truly special one. We all know Michael Jordan, the gravity-defying legend, the six-time champion, the global icon. We've seen the dunks, the game winners, the commercials. But what happens when the biggest star on the planet revisits the place where it all began, before the fame, before the fortune? What happens when he reconnects with someone who believed in him when he was just Mike? This story starts with a simple trip back home, but it spirals into something so much bigger, so profound, it might just change how you see fame, success, and the real meaning of giving back. So, buckle up, Fame Finders. Make sure you hit that like button right now if you love stories that inspire. And hey, if you haven't already, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to Fame Finder and ring that notification bell so you don't miss incredible stories like this one. We're building a community here, and we want you to be part of it. Alright, let's dive in. The year is sometime after his final retirement, let's say the mid-2010s. Michael Jordan, now a successful businessman, owner of the Charlotte Hornets, finds himself driving through the familiar streets of Wilmington, North Carolina. The place where Michael Jordan the icon was forged from Mike Jordan the hopeful kid. He decides, perhaps on a whim, perhaps driven by a deeper need to reconnect with his roots, to visit his old stomping grounds, Emsley A. Laney High School. Imagine him stepping out of that luxury SUV. Is not the soaring number 23 anymore. He's in his 50s or 60s then. Maybe his knees ache a little, the echoes of thousands of landings on hardwood floors. He pulls his baseball cap low, maybe hoping for a moment of anonymity, a chance to just breathe in the past. He walks through those doors. The hallway might look a bit different, new paint, updated trophy cases, but the feeling, that's timeless. He passes kids who barely glance up, lost in their own teenage worlds, unaware they just walked past basketball royalty. A wry smile probably touches MJ's lips. He remembers being that kid, invisible, just dreaming. He makes his way towards the heart of his high school existence, the gymnasium. Even before he pushes open those heavy doors, the smell hits him, that unmistakable mix of polished wood, sweat, old rubber, and maybe a hint of bleach. It's the scent of effort, of dreams won and lost, the perfume of every baller's sanctuary. He pushes the doors open. The gym. It's been updated, sure. New bleachers, a fancy electronic scoreboard. And there, dominating one wall, a huge mural, him. Mid-flight, Chicago Bulls uniform, the epitome of greatness. Beneath it, the words, "Believe in your dreams." He probably chuckles softly. Easy to say now. But back then, when he was a skinny sophomore, belief was harder to come by. This was the very gym where Coach Pop Herring delivered the news that stung more than any physical blow. "Mike, you're not ready for varsity. We need your height on the JV team." Cut. The word echoed in this space for years. He walks the sidelines, memories flooding back. Late nights practicing jumpers until his arms felt like lead. The vow he made to himself right here, never again. I will make them see. He's lost in thought, the ghosts of his past swirling around him. And that's when he sees him. At the far end of the court, near the bleachers, an old man is slowly, meticulously pushing a dust mop. The movements are careful, deliberate, imbued with a quiet pride that seems oddly familiar. Blue work pants, a gray school shirt, back slightly bent, hair white as snow. Moving slow, but steady. Focused. Michael approaches, his footsteps echoing slightly in the cavernous space. "Excuse me," he says, his voice perhaps a little hesitant. The old man looks up, squinting. His eyes aren't what they used to be. "Gym's closed for practice, sir," he says, his voice raspy with age. "Unless you're picking up one of the players." "No," Michael replies, stepping closer. "Just visiting. I used to go to school here." The janitor nods slowly. "Lot of folks come back. Must have graduated a while ago." "Class of 81, Michael says. The old man whistles softly. 81. Lord, that's going back. I was already working here then." He pauses, studying Michael's face, the lines around his eyes, the familiar height. Michael feels a jolt of recognition, cutting through the decades, the wrinkles, the white hair. "Mr. Wilson," he asks, the name feeling foreign and familiar all at once. Is that you?" The janitor tilts his head. "Do I know you, son?" "It's Michael," MJ says, a grin spreading across his face. "Michael Jordan." Mr. Wilson's eyes widen like saucers. He leans the mop against the wall, takes a shaky step closer. "Little Mike Jordan. Is that really you?" "Not so little anymore, Mr. Wilson," Michael laughs. "Well, I'll be," Mr. Wilson breathes, shaking his head in disbelief. "Michael Jordan. Right here. In the flesh." He hesitates, then extends a work-worn hand. "Pardon me for not recognizing you. Eyesight ain't what it used to be." But Michael doesn't just shake his hand. In a move that surprises them both, he pulls the elderly janitor into a hug. Mr. Wilson feels frail in his arms, like a bird made of memories and hard work. When they separate, there are tears welling in the old man's eyes. "I can't believe you're still working here, Mr. Wilson," Michael says, his voice thick with emotion. "It's been, what, over 40 years?" 47, Mr. Wilson corrects him, a hint of pride in his voice. 47 years next month. 47 years. Michael repeats, letting it sink in. "How old are you now, if you don't mind me asking?" "Just turned 80 last week," Mr. Wilson says. 80. The number hangs in the air. Michael is stunned, utterly floored. 80 years old, and still mopping the same gym floors where a teenage kid once poured out his heart and soul, fueled by rejection. 80. Michael echoes, unable to hide his shock. "And you're still working. Full time." Mr. Wilson gives a small, almost imperceptible shrug. "Got nowhere else special to be. And the school still needs cleaning. Keeps me busy." In that moment, Michael isn't seeing just an elderly janitor. He's seeing the man who quietly unlocked the gym doors for him at dawn, before anyone else arrived. The man who'd stay late, never complaining, while Mike begged for just 5 more minutes of shooting practice. The man who offered quiet words of encouragement. "Keep working, son. You got something special," on days when the ball just wouldn't fall. "You remember letting me in early." Michael asks, a nostalgic smile playing on his lips. Mr. Wilson's face lights up. Sure do. First one in, last one out. Never seen a boy work so hard. He chuckles. Used to have to practically kick you out so I could lock up and go home for dinner. My mom used to get so mad, Michael recalls, laughing. Michael spends the next hour talking with James and Martha Wilson. He sees the love between them, the resilience. He sees the adapted dining room now serving as their bedroom because Martha can't manage stairs. He sees the hospital bed for her and asks where Mr. Wilson sleeps. Martha gestures sheepishly towards a thin mattress rolled out on the floor beside the hospital bed. He won't let me sleep alone, she explains softly. Says he needs to be close by in case I need anything. Sleeping. On. The floor. The image burns itself into Michael's mind. This man, who helped launch a billion-dollar career, who exemplified quiet dignity and hard work, sleeps on a mattress on the floor at 80 years old, in a house falling down around him, because his pension isn't enough and his wife needs care. Michael looks at the scrapbook Mr. Wilson shyly pulls out, filled with newspaper clippings of Michael's entire career, meticulously saved over decades. Mr. Wilson had followed his journey, celebrated his success as if it were his own. The decision made earlier in the car solidifies into an unshakable conviction. This isn't just about dinner or donation. This requires something monumental. As Michael prepares to leave, promising to stay in town a few extra days, he shakes Mr. Wilson's hand. Thank you, he says, for everything. Back then and tonight. I owe you more than you know. You don't owe me a thing, Michael, Mr. Wilson insists. Just glad to see you doing so well. Walking back to his car under the quiet night sky, Michael pulls out his phone. He doesn't just make notes, he starts making calls. He takes pictures, discreetly documenting the sagging roof, the narrow bathroom door unfit for a wheelchair, the makeshift bedroom. The question is no longer if he will help. It's how big can he go? How thoroughly can he change the lives of the couple who represent the best of quiet dedication and love? The answer forming in Michael Jordan's mind is bigger, bolder, and more life-altering than anyone, least of all James and Martha Wilson, could possibly imagine. The wheels are in motion. Operation Wilson is about to launch. Wow. Just wow. Fame finders, are you still with me? The emotional weight of this story, it's incredible. Seeing a legend like MJ connect with his past and decide to make such a profound difference, it gives you chills, right? We're going deep into how Michael orchestrates this massive, secret operation in the next part. Believe me, the planning, the secrecy, the sheer scale of what he does next is mind-blowing. But first, I need you to do something for me. Smash that like button if this story is hitting home. Comment below, what part of this story so far has moved you the most? Was it the reunion? The dinner conversation? The moment MJ saw the mattress on the floor? Let me know. And please, if you haven't already, subscribe to Fame Finder and hit the bell. We explore the human side of fame, and you won't want to miss the rest of this journey. Welcome back, Fame Finders. We left off with Michael Jordan leaving the Wilson home, utterly determined to change their lives after discovering the hardships faced by his 80-year-old former high school janitor, Mr. Wilson, and his wife, Martha. Michael doesn't just throw money at the problem. He approaches this with the same strategic intensity he brought to the basketball court. This isn't just about charity, it's about restoring dignity, providing security, and repaying a decades-old debt of gratitude in a way that truly honors the Wilsons. Phase 1, the reconnaissance and the team. Michael spends the next day making calls. He connects with his business manager, his lawyers, financial advisors. He finds a reputable local contractor in Wilmington, let's call him Dave. He arranges a discreet meeting. I need a house renovated, Michael tells Dave, showing him the photos. Completely. Top to bottom. New roof, accessible bathroom, kitchen remodel, landscaping, the works. And, Michael pauses for emphasis, it needs to be done in about a week. 10 days, maximum. Dave probably laughs, thinking it's a joke. Mr. Jordan, that's impossible. A job like this takes months. Money is no object, Michael states flatly. Round-the-clock crews. Triple shifts. Whatever it takes. But the most important thing? Absolute secrecy. The Wilsons cannot know. Dave, realizing MJ is dead serious, gets on board. But Michael knows this needs more than just construction. He calls healthcare specialists, Ahmed, perhaps, someone who helped with his own family's needs. I need the best accessible design possible for Martha. Physical therapy equipment recommendations. Everything. He calls old teammates. Scotty, it's MJ. I need your help with something important. Pippen, Dennis Rodman, Steve Kerr, the legendary Bulls teammates, his brothers in arms, they don't hesitate. We in, MJ. Tell us where and when. He assembles a dream team, not for basketball, but for benevolence. Contractors, designers, healthcare experts, financial wizards, even former NBA stars ready to lend a hand, all sworn to secrecy. Phase 2, the distraction. Michael needs the Wilsons out of the house for at least a week. He concocts a plan, a special, all-expenses-paid Laney High alumni reunion at a luxurious, fully accessible beach house. He calls Principal Jenkins at Laney, letting him in on the secret and arranging for Mr. Wilson to have the week off, paid, disguised as a special maintenance project closing part of the school. He invites the Wilsons to a fancy dinner, bringing Scotty, Dennis, and Steve along. Imagine Martha and James's shock, meeting these legends. They share stories, laugh, reminisce. Michael casually mentions the reunion. The Wilsons are hesitant, they don't take handouts, they don't want to be trouble. But with gentle persuasion from Michael and his friends, it won't be the same without you, they finally agree. They have no idea it's a meticulously planned diversion. Phase 3, the Blitz. Friday morning. The Wilsons are picked up by a comfortable, accessible van, driven by Scotty, perhaps, and whisked away to their beachside reunion. The moment their car is out of sight, the Wilson neighborhood transforms into a highly organized, high-intensity construction zone. Trucks line the street. Dozens of workers swarm the property. The old roof is torn off within hours. Walls come down to create open, wheelchair-friendly spaces. The outdated plumbing and electrical systems are ripped out. Demolition is swift and precise. A command center trailer is set up in the driveway. Work happens 24/7 under floodlights. Neighbors emerge, curious, then stunned when they recognize Michael Jordan overseeing the operation. Word spreads like wildfire. And something beautiful happens. The community steps up. People who knew Mr. Wilson for decades, people whose lives he'd touched in small, forgotten ways, start showing up. A neighbor brings food for the crews. A local garden center owner, remembering Mrs. Wilson loved flowers, donates plants and helps design accessible raised garden beds. A flooring company donates materials. High school students volunteer to paint. Former teammates show up with tool belts on, ready to work. Michael intended this as a private gesture, but it organically becomes a community celebration of the Wilsons' quiet legacy. News crews arrive. Michael initially refuses, then agrees under the condition the focus is on Mr. Wilson and the community, not him, and nothing airs until after the reveal. Phase 4, the transformation. While the Wilsons enjoy their coastal retreat, kept busy with planned activities, spa days, visits from MJ's friends acting as fellow alumni, their home is reborn. New roof, new windows, widened doorways, smooth flooring. A state-of-the-art accessible bathroom with a roll-in shower. A beautiful new kitchen with lowered counters and pull-out shelves Martha can reach. The makeshift bedroom is transformed back into a proper dining room, and their actual bedroom is fitted with a large, comfortable adjustable bed, side by side, ending the nights of Mr. Wilson sleeping on the floor. A dedicated physical therapy space is created for Martha, equipped with everything she needs. Michael insists on perfection. He remembers small details Martha mentioned. He ensures their familiar belongings are cleaned and returned, supplemented with new, comfortable furniture. He has a special, lighted display cabinet built for Mr. Wilson's precious scrapbooks. The house isn't just repaired, it's infused with thoughtful care. Phase 5, the financial future. Parallel to the construction, Michael's financial team works miracles. The Wilsons' mortgage is paid off entirely. A trust fund is established, providing a generous monthly income ensuring Mr. Wilson can retire immediately and comfortably. The trust also covers all future medical expenses for both James and Martha, for life. No more worries about bills, insurance caps, or unexpected costs. Funds are even set aside for their children's and grandchildren's education. This isn't just a renovation, it's total life security. 1 week later, the work is done. The house is immaculate. The crews have cleared out. The yard is beautifully landscaped. A giant red ribbon adorns the front door. The stage is set. Okay, fame finders, the moment is almost here. The Wilsons are on their way back from the beach house, completely unaware of what awaits them. Can you even imagine their reaction? This is the payoff. Don't go anywhere. And if you're feeling the emotion, Hit like, comment with your anticipation, and subscribe to Fame Finder. You're part of this reveal. The accessible van carrying James and Martha Wilson turns onto their street. They see a crowd. Neighbors, former students, the renovation crew, all gathered quietly. They see their house, but it's not their house. It's transformed. Beautiful. New. Michael Jordan steps forward as they emerge from the van, Mr. Wilson looking utterly bewildered, Martha speechless, tears already forming. "Welcome home, Mr. and Mrs. Wilson," Michael says warmly. "We, noticed a few things needed fixing." He guides them up the new, gentle ramp. Hands Mr. Wilson a pair of giant scissors. With trembling hands, Mr. Wilson cuts the ribbon. Michael pushes the door open. They step inside. Gasps echo in the sudden silence. The open space, the light, the beautiful floors, the she change. Martha rolls her wheelchair effortlessly through doorways that were once barriers. She touches the kitchen counters she can finally reach. She sees the bathroom designed for her independence. Tears stream down her face. Mr. Wilson walks through the house as if in a dream, touching walls, looking at the new furniture, the photos arranged with care. He sees the special cabinet for his scrapbooks. He sees the bedroom with a comfortable bed where he can finally sleep beside his wife again. "Why?" he finally manages to whisper, turning to Michael, overwhelmed. "Why all this?" "Because you mattered, Mr. Wilson," Michael says, his own voice thick with emotion. "Because you opened a door for me 40 years ago. Because kindness like yours deserves to be recognized." He then explains everything. Not just the renovation, but the paid-off mortgage, the trust fund, the lifetime medical care, the fact that Mr. Wilson can finally retire. Mr. Wilson sinks into a chair, utterly overcome. Martha wheels over, takes his hand. The crowd outside begins to gently applaud, many wiping their own tears. But Michael isn't finished. He leads them to a small back room, once used for storage, now transformed into a beautiful home office. Above the desk hangs a framed document. "What's this?" Mr. Wilson asks. "That," Michael says, "is the incorporation paperwork for the James Wilson Foundation. Inspired by you," Michael explains, "its mission is to support and recognize school support staff, the unsung heroes like you, all across the country. Janitors, cafeteria workers, bus drivers, the people who make schools run but rarely get the credit." He explains the initial funding, the plans for scholarships and grants. "And," Michael adds, gesturing to the desk, "the foundation needs its first executive director. Someone with heart, experience, and wisdom. Someone like you, Mr. Wilson. If you'll accept." Martha gasps, urging her husband with her eyes. James Wilson, the humble janitor, looks around his new office, at the legacy being offered, at the chance to turn his lifetime of quiet service into a force for national good. After a long, emotional moment, he nods. "Yes," he says softly, "I accept." The story of Michael Jordan and James Wilson isn't just about a renovated house. It's about the power of remembrance, the impact of quiet kindness, and the beautiful truth that it's never too late to say thank you, to recognize the heroes hidden in plain sight. It's a reminder that true success isn't just measured in championships or bank accounts, but in the lives we touch and the gratitude we show. Mr. Wilson unlocked a door for a struggling kid, and decades later, that kid, now a legend, unlocked a future Mr. Wilson never dreamed possible, creating a legacy that will continue opening doors for others for years to come. Wow, what a journey! Thank you for sharing this incredible story with us here on Fame Finder. It truly shows the character behind the fame. Now, I really want to hear from you. What did you think? Comment below, tell us where you're watching from, and what your absolute favorite moment of this story was. Did the ending get you? And please, if this story moved you, give this video a massive like. It really helps us bring more stories like this to light. And most importantly, subscribe to Fame Finder and hit that notification bell. We dedicated to finding these powerful stories, and we need you in our community. Thanks for watching, Fame Finders. Remember, sometimes the greatest acts of kindness are the quietest ones, and everyone has a story worth finding. Until next time, keep seeking the stories behind the fame.